Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at ultimately the free-to-play units that I have used the most, that I think are the most playable. I have discussed before in the past the best free-to-play units, and I still stand by that list. But I wanted to give people an idea of which ones I actually use a lot, like which ones do I personally use and a lot of content, not just for reviews or challenges or things like that, because free-to-play units that are great in a free-to-play challenge or something are awesome. However, if you actually are playing the game, and what would I actually use, or have I used, or do I use frequently? Now I'm going to just preface this with a couple things. Firstly, I'm not including the Guinea Force units. The Guinea Force units, by and large, you should have and probably be using a lot. They're all very useful in their own ways, especially in Ultimate Clash. In the same way, I don't want to list teams like the Metal Coolers. I think Metal Coolers are great as a team, but the Metal Coolers individually aren't so great. I don't actually individually use any of the Metal Coolers. I use them as a team occasionally, but I've never actually used them as a team outside of some challenge content. They're a lot of fun, but they're not units I use a lot, to be honest with you. So I want to preface that as well, and also just mention like the type support units, so from the Bubba Shop. So like the Nappers, the Great Sailmans, the Int Deborahs. All of these units are very, very, very useful, and I want to mention them kind of as just a flat pick. So I don't want to list each of them every time I go through a typing, but I do want to state that you should probably you should have all these units, but these guys are great. I use them in Ultimate Clash, like literally every time Ultimate Clash is up, and I use them for a ton of nuking events and just other content, so they really are just quite helpful. Some are more helpful than others, but in general all of them have been pretty helpful. So yeah. Now we're going to start, so for me, Mecha Frieza. I use Mecha Frieza actually unironically in a lot of content, Ultimate Clash, SBR, ESBR. The thing is Mecha Frieza is great defensively after he supers. He can have a huge defense, I think it's something like 600k on the right teams. And he's just really easy to use, and he has a low key threshold for his super, and he's just quite solid all around. On the super side of things for physical, definitely a lot Krillin. Great unit for a lot of content, great lead for a lot of free-to-play teams, but also super duper helpful for World Tournament. Krillin is an absolute menace when it comes to World Tournament. I love using him. Then we have Master Roshi, also great unit. Ultimate Clash extraordinaire. This guy, he seals, he stuns, he's got support capabilities, and he's got a revive. He's just got a lot of utility that you'll use in a lot of content. Ultimate Clash, SBR, ESBR, and he's helpful. I mean, I've genuinely used him in a lot of content that I'm trying to beat, not just do a challenge in. Same with Great Saiyaman 1 and 2. I use them in plenty of content. They're great support, they have a seal, they're solid defensively after super, and they provide a lot of defense to the rotation. I've used them in plenty challenges, but also in plenty actual content, and again, they're fantastic in Ultimate Clash. A lot of the times you're going to find Ultimate Clash is where I'm using free-to-play units, because a lot of them are great at filling in gaps within the teams that I'm trying to run or give me utility that I need. And SBR, ESBR, Ultimate Clash are going to be the predominant areas where you're going to use a lot of these units. On the extreme strength side, I'm going to be honest, there's not many that I use here very frequently. Maybe Prime Battle Frieza. I'll have to see how Mecha Frieza and them go. One I will state is Android 13. Not so much because I use him a lot, but because he was a very helpful unit when I started the game and completing challenges with the Fighting Legend Goku event, the Fighting Legend Goku GT, even the Fighting Legend Vegeta. He's just a very strong unit that can float and be a great second slot unit that makes life a lot easier for Android's teams, etc. So extreme strength, there's not a lot. There's like the Android 18 Future as well, I just want to briefly mention. But yeah, the super strength is really where there's a couple great picks. You got SGSS Vegito, brilliant unit, really, really solid, great leader skill, 130% lead, and just good in a lot of content. I've used him in Ultimate Clash, I've used him in longer form content, I've used him even in 1 or 2 red zones, very good. Same with BPAN. B-Pan is really quite tanky. 50% damage reduction helps her out a lot. In any event where you're facing a physical unit, she's immediately just super tanky. And she has this really cool thing where she boosts attack and also heals. Her healing is actually one of the things I love the most about her. She keeps my teams topped up so much in so much content, but especially Ultimate Clash. And like I said, any physical boss, and she's really good. I've even used her against Zamasu. She gets through the end phase, and she does great in the physical phase. So she's really solid from that perspective. At the same way, Super Strike 16 is an underrated unit that I love using. Again, super helpful in Ultimate Clash because when his guard activates, when he has type advantage, he is like invincible. Literally can't be hit. I've used him in Cell Max, I've used him in Ultimate Clash, I've used him in some red zones because you can also use him on an Android Cell Saga team. A little bit more finicky, but he's still very good. Super tanky unit, really love using him. Babidi, also just a great unit for like Ultimate Clash, SBR, all those things, the sealing, the stunning. I find all of it to be incredibly helpful and just incredibly useful. A lot of the times it really helps to elevate my teams, make things run smoothly, and just in general helps the team perform great, which is awesome. The standby skill I don't use so much, but I find that the team that he runs on, he really helps out a lot. Super int Belma. So Belma is a little bit more difficult to utilize than maybe some of the other units. But Belma thrives in that she really meshes well when you have a Goku youth. And although being a little bit more niche, she's really good. She's like high level good. We're talking super high quality. Android 21 as well. A little bit more finicky to use, but able to do very high level content. Like very high level content. Incredibly good unit. Lots of great abilities and super strong. Very strong off the super, very good. So her and Belma, just incredible picks. Really fun to use, and they have great utility. They have great performance, and although finicky to use, I can use them in high level content, which is great. On the tech side, Cell, Prime Battle Cell, great unit. Healing, really solid defensively, good damage in an SBR, ESBR situation, good debuffing. Really just brings a lot of tools, but the healing is what I find the best. He can get to a good defensive level and also heal you a lot, which helps out a lot. In a lot of content, healing is an underrated ability, and Cell helps out a ton in that. This is an honorable mention for Salsa, because he's one of the few extreme seals alongside Gildo, and he's free to play, and I highly suggest you get him, because he really helps out with the Ultimate Clash, and I've used him a ton in there. So yeah, really good stuff. And same with Lord Slug, a unit that again was super great. He actually helped me finish the Extreme Tech ESBR when it first came out. He was very helpful. His stunning is very good, and he's just solid, a very solid unit that I've used quite a bit actually for movie bosses, Extreme Tech, just tons of challenges. Then we got Jackie Chun, really powerful, really good. A little bit kind of similar to Bomber. You need to kind of have a World Tournament unit or a Turtle School unit, but he's really good. Honestly, a super tanky free-to-play unit, and he provides a lot of great support. He seals. He's useful in a ton of content. I've used him on like an official Earthbred Fighters team. Master Roshi and TN, also Ultimate Clash Extraordinaire. Debuffing, sealing, stunning, it's all you need for a ton of Ultimate Clash content. So really good from that perspective. Extreme AGL units, we're looking at Android 17 and 18. Exceptional unit, incredibly strong, very good. And yeah, I've used them a ton and a ton of content, like ranging all over the place, even red zone. They can do a couple red zones, very good units. Babidi and Deborah, more Ultimate Clash orientated, but very solid. Great units. The sealing, the stunning, takes a little bit of getting used to, but they've helped out a ton with Ultimate Clash. I think they're one of my top picks for the Extreme AGL side, because they're one of the few bits of utility that you get. Then we have Vegeta, a very good unit. Very strong damage dealer actually, and I've surprisingly used him to complete a lot of challenges as well. New King based challenges as well, just a very good unit. Find them to be a very solid pick. On the super side, Goku no Raleigh, lots of good utility, very good unit, very impressive. Ceiling and the damage reduction, they're a little bit aged, like they'll take damage now. But again, also a unit that I've used a ton to achieve a lot. The GT heroes, Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr., just a good, solid unit. Good leader skill as well, but just a very solid unit, performance-wise. And then finally, the Goku and the Chi-Chi, because the active skill is something you can kind of abuse in a lot of content. But yeah, that's it. Not saying I don't use any others, but these are probably the ones that I significantly use on a regular basis to actually complete content. Challenges, content, missions. And I didn't include units like the Greatest Warrior Goku because you should have him anyway. And didn't include, or tried not to include, like any ESBR or SBR units because you have to kind of get them. They're great other units as well. So don't just stop at these ones. But if you wanted a general idea of who I use and who I regularly use, that's it. Bye.